So, Shari, where did this all start?
My imagination, Susan. That's the only place it could have started. Actually, you know what? I couldn't even dream this big. So my business started 12 years ago. I was a single mom of two amazing boys who are now adults, kids in my head, but actual adults, strangely. And I had come out of a tough divorce and a tough situation. And I knew what I didn't want, but I didn't know what I wanted, which was a strange place for me because I've always been creative and bubbly and extroverted. So, but I used that I was an artist. I was a makeup artist for 20 years. I don't even know if you know that.
No.
I was a makeup artist for 20 years. I did mosaic art for a long time when my kids were young. So always creative, always doing things with my hands. And ironically, with mosaics, you take things, you break them apart, and you make them beautiful again. And on my own healing journey from my divorce and figuring out what I wanted my life to look like, I don't do things halfway. So I did a year-long teacher training for yoga, and I did a year-long coach training. I had hired a coach myself because I knew I didn't want a therapist who just went over where I've been. I had trauma. I worked on it. I was proud of myself for getting out of it and being the mom I wanted to be to my kids. So I didn't want to sit in the past, but I didn't know what the future looked like. So someone said, try a life coach. I said, well, I don't know what it is, but I like the name of it. And I absolutely loved working with the person. More importantly, I love the field. Like, I've been doing this my whole life for free. I had no idea. So people always came for advice with me, and my brain works very creatively. So I can see things in a completely different way that someone else does. And that's what's made my work so good, because someone will come to me and I can take the puzzle pieces apart, put it back together, and it's still their idea. Like, I don't believe in the templates or it needs to look like this or you have to march in line. I believe the actual opposite. But if we understand ourselves better, we can come to our businesses a better CEO, a better leader, a better manager, and also a better visionary, which we don't always do that dance well. So I started coaching. I did my training online, and I was based in New York. I'd never been in England in my life. And ironically, my best friend was from London who lived in New Jersey. So I had never even been, but she got me a Cockney book. I learned all the phrases. I knew I was ready for this. So I got my degree in coaching. And at the time, Facebook was like the Wild West. You could just hop on and say, hi, 5 openings for clients. And it worked. It was before it was so oversaturated. And my first few clients happened to be British in one of these business groups. And they fell in love with me and I fell in love with them. And there was just something about this New Yorker, I'm like you, but I'm not like you. So people trust me in a different way because I don't remind them of someone that they know. And I think very big and I speak very quickly. So I think people are drawn to the sameness but different. Is like I want a piece of that, but without all the American over the top, everything's always perfect. I'm really a realist. I'm not a positive person by nature. I'm pretty New York jaded. So like when someone brings something to me, I'm not going to positive affirmation away at them. Like, we work in deep problems. I do deep work with people. We also make it playful and fun. So it started with British clients and it stayed with British clients. So I now run a coaching department. That's how we met for a big company in Solihull. So I head up their coaching department and I have private clients who I work with. I hold workshops all around the country. I spend a month here and a month at home. I alternate months. I basically live on a train. I know it sounds very romantic, but it's not. I'm very tired all the time. It's wonderful. I'm really proud of what I've built, especially from where it came from. Like I said, I couldn't have dreamt this up. This would have been some imaginary thing.
I mean, I know it, like we're jumping right back, but can we obviously, when you said you used to be a makeup artist, I didn't know
I know, we
that.
haven't covered that yet. Yeah, 25 years.
But how and where were you working and what were you doing then?
So I did some fashion, but I did mostly events and occasions, a lot of weddings, bar mitzvahs, all that stuff. So I got married really young, had kids really young, and I always loved makeup. I trained, I went to uni, and then after uni, I went to Parsons School of Design in New York City for 2 years. And I did 1 year in makeup and another year in kind of like image consulting, styling.
Yeah.
And I just loved it. I fell in love with my teacher, who was my best friend. And he's like, just go do it. So I just, years ago, there was no social media or anything. I just popped up locally. I'm doing this. And that's what I did for 20 years, on and off, pregnant, not pregnant, rooms of 13 in an hour and a half, faces all over the place. And I adored it. I still love it. Once in a while, I'll do it for friends, their kids getting married and like, you have to come out of retirement. So I still have my airbrush and my big bag and, all my brushes at home. So it's why I'm so drawn to you, because I love you as a person and I love the work you're doing. It's so important for people who are talented to know they can use their talent in a business. It's not one or the other. And it's frustrating. I wish I had you 20 years ago.
That's why, it's an industry, that's what I love about the beauty industry, because you can just take one element of it and turn it into a whole career, travel the whole world with it. There's not many other careers where you can do that.
Absolutely.
You can just be a nail tech. And as they make that such a huge career, and that's what I love. But I can just imagine you'd still be like,
I was exactly like this. So I always used to say, I do 5% makeup and 95% psychology. I'm having in-laws fighting in the room, the bride's crying. I'm like, okay, we're going to rearrange this now. The grandmother got lost. This is what I did. I said, I could write a book about the stories that I've seen.
I know.
So like I said, I've always been like this. I was like, I could do this as a career.
I know.
Stubborn.